I bring in Senator Bill Hagerty, Republican on the Foreign Relations Committee. Mr. Senator, would an immediate ceasefire let Hamas win, in your opinion?
Well, I certainly think that Hamas will declare that they've won, Stuart, if that's the case. And it's been interesting. President Biden, at the very outset of this war, basically said the right thing, that the United States stands with Israel. But what's happened is his far left has continued to pull and pull and pull. And what we've seen is U.S. support erode. It's very, very disturbing to me to see us not standing strong. President Trump was always clear. Put maximum pressure on Iran. They are the funders of this. Put maximum pressure on Hamas. We did not have this kind of challenge. What Hamas has done is they've used humans as shields there in Gaza. Those human shields have created a humanitarian disaster. That was part of their plan. Hamas has diverted aid and food aid. Hamas are the ones that are responsible for this. And I think Hamas needs to be put out of business. They need to be put out of business quickly. And Joe Biden should stand behind that plan. President Trump certainly does.
Do you think Hamas will ever release their hostages? It is their best weapon. It's their leverage.
Certainly it's their leverage. And I was shocked to hear that the ceasefire, that the call for a ceasefire yesterday didn't include the release of hostages by Hamas. We need to hold Hamas responsible for this. That's where the pressure needs to be exerted.
Now, Mr. Senator, I'm going to change the subject for a moment because you have been America's ambassador to Japan. And President Biden is going to host the Prime Minister of Japan next week. It's an official state visit. Now, what's the significance of this visit? Is it a realignment of our relationships around the Pacific?
It's not a realignment, but it's a continued showing of our relationship and how strong it is. This is the strongest alliance that we have in the Indo-Pacific region. The alliance has been critical to our relationship in that region for decades. When I served as ambassador, we had the first state visit of the new emperor. He invited President Trump to come. Again, an important showing of the alliance. This is an opportunity to show that in a reciprocal fashion. This is also the 5th anniversary of the U.S.-Japan trade deal, the U.S.-Japan digital trade deal, a very important deal for America and for Japan that shows our economic bonds. It's the 64th anniversary of a security treaty that we signed with Japan. Again, these are strong bonds that need to be reinforced. I'm pleased to see it happen.
I'm sorry, Mr. Senator, but it's a response to China's aggression, isn't it? We firm up with Japan because China's being hostile, right?
Certainly, China has been hostile, and certainly before I arrived in 2017, China had been hostile at that point as well. They had encircled the Senkaku Islands in the East China Sea. They were all over the South China Sea. When President Trump came into office, we pushed back hard. We saw things change in that region, and China has now, unfortunately, particularly after the fall of Afghanistan, come back with a vengeance in that region. We've seen them in the Taiwan Strait like never before. So again, I think this is very critical that we show this alliance and the strength of it. North Korea needs to see it too.
Senator Hagerty, thanks very much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.